BBC Radio Humberside, BBC Radio Lincolnshire, Peter this side. Thank you very much indeed for listening. It's lovely to be back, lovely to have you with me. Now, next guest promises to give you a slice of celebrity lifestyle, which is what we all want at absolutely no cost. Now, Neil Sean has interviewed famous faces and Hollywood stars around the world in his book, How to Live Like a Celebrity But For Free, which is what we all want. It was mostly written from his caravan at Hornsey, and I don't believe that for one tiny little bit. Neil, good afternoon to you.
Oh, Peter, I can assure you it was, honestly. The beauty about doing it from there, as you know, when you're trying to do something together, you need a bit of quiet, a bit of silence, because wherever you work in a studio or whatever, people keep butting in, don't they, and asking you to do stuff. And I thought, I took the laptop up there. I was up at a place called Barcourt, just up Cliff Road, cracking place. But the only problem is, of course, then you're distracted because you go for a wander around looking at the sea, don't you?
But you spend your life, you know, getting into free parties and hobnobbing with the big names, and then suddenly you shut yourself in Hornsey with just you and the seagulls.
There's nothing wrong with Hornsey, love. The thing is, honestly, people find it really shocking when you say, I like going things, for instance, like there's that great museum, isn't there, in Withensea with Kay Kendall's exhibition and stuff. So wherever you go, you can find a bit of celebrity, if you know what I mean. It's always around. But the thing I like to do is do the complete opposite. So you can be in the middle of Times Square interviewing somebody outside, I don't know, Radio City Music Hall in New York or something. Then you fly back and you go and do normal things, whether that be, having a cup of tea in Leeds Market or going off to Hornsey for a 4-day break.
Your job, though, is fantastic, isn't it? Because you just blag... I mean, I'm not being rude, but presumably you blag your way into every show business celebrity party and you don't have to put your hand in your pocket.
Well, a true northerner, I think, is what you're really saying. But the thing is, it wasn't always like that. On a serious note, how it started really was when I was sort of struggling and in sort of theatre and variety and stuff in the beginning. I always found it amazing, really, Peter, that the people that got things for free were always the ones that didn't actually need it. So, like when you go to a party and somebody will give you a mobile phone or a bottle of that very...
No, I don't know that sort of party. I've never been to a party where I've been given anything, let alone one of these doggy bags that your people get, and then there's lots of expensive gifts in them.
Oh, I'll take you out, don't you worry, Peter. But the thing is, seriously, you go to these things, and when you don't actually need it, you get it. And when I was sort of really struggling, the ideas of even that, just simple things like looking for a job, every day you had to buy the newspaper, or when I first came to London, it's 50 pence to buy that newspaper. And my dad very sort of astutely said, look, if you go in the better hotels, the newspapers are there complimentary, and then you can write down it, but your leisure, what jobs you want to go for. But the one thing that the recurring theme of the book is simply this, is that you must look like you've got money. Now, that doesn't cost a lot to look like you've got money, but it's all about... I mean, I've seen you on TV every night, and you look incredibly smart, and that's the key, because if you don't look like you've got anything, people don't want to give you anything.
Yeah, but I don't know where... Okay, so I've got my suit on, and I've finished the TV, and I want to blag my way into a party. I don't know where these parties are. They're not going on in Hull and Lincoln, that's for sure. They're going on...
You'd be amazed, actually. Because,
well, tell me.
Well, no, because you see, then again, it depends on what you want to do. Now, somebody was saying to me the other day, how can you possibly, for instance, have a meal or, eat and drink in a 5-star or 4-star hotel, even if that was in Hull or surrounding areas? It's quite simple. One of the things that you can always do, if you just want to pass an hour on or so, is go to a wedding fair. They have them every Sunday. You don't have to be getting married. They give you free cake, free food, you sample the wine, everything. And then on the way out...
but hang on, you're talking about A-list celebrity parties, and then you're suggesting that I go and turn up at some wedding fair on Sunday and look like a sado trying to get a free slice of cake and listen to some third-rate singer doing their songs.
That could be me, thank you very much. No, the thing is, it's the extremes. What I'm saying is, if you want to just do something to save money, you can do that. If you want, say, to mix in the celebrity circles, you really have to look around in your area. There's more things that, you probably don't know about, whether that's somebody's launching a book, so there's free wine and nibbles at that. Check with your local hotels, because the bottom line is, even the local theatres, for instance, they have these things called panic boards, and there's there's all sorts of little websites that you can go on. And if, for instance, a comedian or whoever's coming to a whole new theatre and they don't have enough people, they have a thing what they call paper the house. As we know, as the expression is filling the theatre. And the bottom line is, if you're on some of these websites that will, send you a little message out saying, if you turn up at the theatre before 6, you get a free ticket to see X person. There's your free night out.
But I don't know anyone that's ever had a message like that or a chance to do that.
Because you see, this is the thing. Like you, I didn't know any of these things until I started, writing the book, because I had no idea that these things existed.
So you're saying if a show's opening at the Hull New Theatre tonight and there's no tickets sold or very few tickets sold, there's a chance that they would get in touch with you and say you can come in for next to nothing.
What you do is, if you get a hold of these sites, I'm not giving it away, but they're in the book. If you these things like meetup.com and all that sort of stuff, where they just need crowds. Like if, for instance, there was a thing on TV this morning where they had Little Mix performing, outside in London. They need a crowd. That's how they get it. When those people turned up at that crowd, they got a free CD plus the chance to be on TV. Now you might think, well, was that really worth it? But the bottom line is,
I'm not getting up at 5 in the morning to sit and watch a girl band in the freezing cold.
But if you're 14 and you can't afford the CD, you'll do it. You know what I mean? Because they've a lot more energy than us. And I think that you also have to look around. You also have to look around and think to yourself, there's a great thing, for instance, with hotels. A lot of these big hotels, particularly in London, then again, you just need to check into their websites, look a bit deeper, but they have these things, what they call sample weekends, and they want people to come in and test new rooms, new menus. You get it for free, but you have to fill endless forms in when you're there, like what was the bed like, what was the lighting like, but who cares, as long as if you're staying there for free. But a lot of people don't know these things existed, because marketeering now, if you like, for want of a better word, has got a lot more aggressive, because there's more competition, and you only have to go looking around the shops to see that.
And do the celebrities themselves expect a freeload? Do they themselves like a freeload?
Do you know what's interesting? Whenever you meet any celebrity, this is my advice: is never ever offer to buy them anything, because they will take advantage of anything. Even if you say, I'll meet you for tea, they certainly don't want tea; they want champagne tea. And so I always arrive late, making sure that they have to buy the first drink, and then I suddenly get called away when it comes to my round. But the thing is, most of them do, and a lot of stars, and it doesn't matter whether you've been a star for a long time or a short time, like somebody from X Factor, they expect everything for free, and they get it, and I think it's very difficult when they've had a taste of it and then it's gone. So my sort of idea with the book was to really say, and it's kind of, you might laugh at this, but it's kind of like, even for somebody who's been struggling to try and get a job for a while, read it. There are confidence things in there that tell you how you can get free clothing, free holidays, free shoes, you name it. There is ways of getting it, but it all boils down to looking the right part and having a little bit of confidence, and I think we all deserve that in life, and that gives you a bit of a break too. And
you say it doesn't matter what you look like, but you've got to have clean hair. You talk about Russell Brand. What's that all about?
Well, it's a very strange thing, isn't it? Whatever people say, appearances do matter. And I mean, say like in your job and in my job, for instance, if you suddenly decided that you didn't want to go on air one night, you didn't want to have a shave, but you wanted to go a little bit more relaxed, that the public expect you to look a certain way because you are delivering a serious message. That's your job, if you like. And now, when you look at somebody like Russell Brand, if he wasn't famous, he wouldn't be allowed in many places because he kind of looks like he slept in a skip. But the thing is, people go, it's Russell Brand. So that's the difference with fame and normal people, if you like. It makes me laugh when you see somebody like Gwyneth Paltrow posing, virtually semi-naked on front cover of Vanity Fair. It's art. Katie Price does it, and she's trash. So you can't win. It's a double-edged sword, actually. But my biggest thing is, just try and think of things and think about what you can get from that. And as I say, everybody from Priscilla Presley through to the Duchess of York told me all their little secrets.
And you got into something by, shadowing Charlie Dimmock.
Yeah, oh no, here's a cracker. This never fails, actually. If you go to an event like the BAFTAs or, you know, one of those Brit Award things, something like that, I tell you where they're fabulous, Peter. If you go to a hotel, there's a big event coming up on Thursday night, and it's at the Savoy. Now, my advice to anybody would be, if you want to go in, it's quite simple. Go in and case the joint first, because you have to look around and think, right, where will this event be? What ballroom is it in? Etc., etc. Now, most people try and attempt to go up the red carpet. If you go into the hotel as a guest meeting somebody and you look the part, suddenly you come out, you're on the phone, you say to someone, oh, which way is it back in? They let you in, you're wondering, nobody questions a thing. Trust me, you get in there and you could drink and eat all night and probably leave with a nice goodie bag at the end of it.
Well, I'll see if I can gate crash your wedding fair at the weekend, because that's about the only thing that we'll have on round here that I can gate crash. But,
no, there's a big event. I've got to tell you my plug. I'm at the Midland Hotel in Bradford this Sunday, if you want to let all the tricks, 2:30 p.m.
Well, I gate crashed the Midland Hotel in Bradford then.
Come along, I'd love to see you. Yeah, come along. 2:30, all free in, and a free gift for anybody.
I'd rather come to your caravan in Hornsey than that, but still, not to worry, we're not being rude about Bradford. Listen, very, very good to have you on the programme, Neil. I wish you well. How to Live Like a Celebrity for Free is the title of your book. Next time you're in Hull gate crashing a party,
yes,
perhaps you'd like to come and see us.
I will. I'll take you out, I promise. Next time you come to London, I'll show you how the book works.
All right. Right, yeah, well, there's an offer we can't refuse. Neil, very good to talk to you. Thanks very much indeed.
Take care, love. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Contact